How's it hanging, dudes and dudettes? Today we have Cities by Diana. She is a dudette. She's here. Okay? She's
Hi.
here. Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going. Here we go, guys. Okay, so, um, it's like I was saying before. It's just us talking about city skylines. So what are you excited for? What are you ready for? What's your most what would you be doing jazz hands about?
Um, Traffic accidents. Those are going to be hilarious. I can't wait to see like who can make the biggest car wreck. Just saying, it's like that part's going to be once I saw that, I was like done. Just done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was telling my wife the other day that in City Skylines one they have these like everybody makes these poop volcanoes, these poop dams, try to power the city by the power of poop. And like that's such like a common trope in City Skylines one. I guarantee you, tell my wife this that there's going to be multiple people trying to back up their city as much as they can with just leaving wrecks, seeing how
Yes.
bad how bad it could possibly get. Yeah.
Yes, car accidents are definitely the new poop.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do you do like City Skylines content like as like a full-time job, part-time job, just as a hobby?
Somewhere between hobby and part-time job.
Mm, right.
The probably more hobby, but I've had quite a lot of success on TikTok, which has done me well. Um, but yeah, I started about a year ago, and yeah, I have a 9 to 5, I have a day job, so
Right.
but otherwise, yeah. I mean, I'm large enough on TikTok that if TikTok was a reliable platform, which it is not, I could consider it a part-time job, but it's not quite there yet.
So, how does ad revenue work on TikTok? I hear it's like really low, right?
It depends. It's the same as YouTube if you're in a certain program, if you're making longer form content.
Mm.
Or it's not quite the same. It's about half of what YouTube is. But because you get more views, it ends up being a little better. Um, Depending on the content, obviously. But if you're just in the regular creator fund, it's super low. It's like $30 for a million views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really low.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
a lot of the like big time TikTokers, even if they're getting 50 million views, 100 million views, they're not making that much money unless they're in the creativity fund, which is a new one they just came out with. But that rewards longer form content, and that you have to be basically in order to get a million views on long form content, you have to have insane numbers, and it's very difficult. Let's just say that.
So did you start out on TikTok and you moved your following to YouTube? Is that how it worked?
No, other way around actually. I started
Oh,
out on
okay.
YouTube. I started out on YouTube. Yeah, I've been posting twice a week on YouTube since I started. I got into TikTok, really started taking it seriously back in like March. I was posting a little bit over last winter. I think I got to about like 1,500 followers on there, and then just kind of gave up on it. But really started taking off in March once YouTube started unveiling longer videos. I just started by posting my YouTube videos, which were always kind of short. Started by posting those to TikTok, and some of those got like a million views. Got like so many views. I was just like, what? And then I started making content dedicated to TikTok too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Naturally, naturally, I'd be kind of be ashamed to let that go. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for
exactly.
sure, for sure. Yeah, I don't. It's similar with me, just without the TikTok. I'm still just getting started on YouTube. I started 3 months ago, I think. 3 months
Yeah,
ago.
and you've grown really fast, which is amazing.
I mean, really, it's just algorithm tricks. Like
Oh, I know.
yeah, yeah, it's just a brand new channel. I don't watch anybody else. It's just dedicated to City Skylines 2. I only like and subscribe to City Skylines 2. I have a separate channel for my personal, I watch Doctor Disrespect and all these other people in my off time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like so, like I have that's completely separate because I learned a long time ago that YouTube algorithm can really get confused if you just start watching cat videos and all this other stuff. And this is like, wait, you're making this content, but you're watching this content. YouTube's like, where do I recommend? So I learned that a long time ago. So yeah, it's really all it is. And of course, the natural, you know, clickbait without. Well, it's not necessarily clickbait because what I'm talking about is true, but it's like you have to leave the thumbnail and the title as kind of like a question for people to have to click, and
Mm-hmm.
then people might sometimes it kills your retention, you know, because some people are like, oh, well, I actually already know that, so I'm just gonna click off, and they don't even get to the part where you ask them to subscribe. You know, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a the algorithm is unfortunate that way. But it's also not bad. You have to make something that somebody wants to watch, and in
Mm-hmm.
order to do that, you have to make something that somebody wants to click on.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
TikTok's different. It just sends it to people. They like it. If they stay on, then sends it to more people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
little easier to get a lot of reach on TikTok. And I found that actually converts to YouTube too. A lot of people came to my YouTube from TikTok.
Yeah, like because they want the longer form content. Everybody knows that's where you go for long form content is YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Now YouTube, the algorithm's a lot older there, and it's had a lot of changes. So it's like you had to kind of adapt with the winds of change that way. And TikTok's kind of like a baby, and it's new, and so it's like that algorithm's kind of untamed. It's like the Wild West there, whereas YouTube is all tamed now. It's like you can't shit post anymore on YouTube because it's like it's just
Yeah.
like they'll they'll just
Oh yeah.
wag their finger at you.
I have attempted some shit posting from my channel with mixed results. Some does really good. Some does so bad it's not on the channel anymore.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can't believe that. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever watched any of my videos to the outro, you know my outro is a bit edgy, but
Yeah.
but it's the same outro I've used for all of my channels, and it'd be disingenuous to change it now. I feel like after all these years, you know what I mean? Like
That's fair.
it's who I am. Like, and
Yeah,
I
that's
put a
fair.
lot of memes in my videos, and I've learned that like I used to when like all the speculation was really hot, and we had no information on City Skylines 2. I could just post anything, and it would get a bunch of views because people are like genuinely curious. Are we able to drive in City Skylines 2?
Yeah.
I don't know, but let's just talk about it. If there's a video of somebody talking about it, I'm into that. And now people have a lot of the information, so I've kind of resorted to just highly editing the videos and trying to up, make the videos worth the view, because if somebody just throws on a Dev Diary trailer in the background and just rambling over it, I try to script it, and now I've tried to put memes in there. Well, I've successfully done that. A lot of people like them. I've had a couple comments from people who aren't like that, who are like, we don't need the memes. I'm just like, it's when all you have is a Dev Diary, a few trailers. It's hard to find, especially because right now there's no City Skylines 2, so there's no
Yeah.
gameplay. So it's
Yeah.
hard to find images to put on your screen.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Sometimes I just use like stock footage from Pexels, like the free site.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's always like a fun trick of mine. Memes are great. And if anybody complains about it, like the thing with YouTube is everybody in the world can see it. So you're gonna have every opinion and every different desire. And if somebody complains about like, oh, like I've had one person say, oh, you should make your videos with no music. And I'm like, well, I'm happy to recommend you other channels that'll do that.
Right, right.
Same with anything. Like if there's so many channels, especially with City Skylines, that if you don't like one for one reason, just watch something else.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, now I will say that I have learned, like I had a mentor who taught me a lot about YouTube when I was just coming up, and he did tell me that, like when you're starting out, stuff like that, sometimes, a lot of times actually, listen to your audience, listen to what they're saying. A lot of times it makes sense, but there's a lot of times, kind of like in this situation we're talking about, where it's like their own personal preference. It's not like, oh, hey, you got this one factoid wrong about this one interchange you're talking about. It's actually a bypass double exit, instead of what you said. And like, okay, I'll take that, put it into my, hat of knowledge, and I'll learn from that. So heart, comment, reply, whatever. And then,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people who are just like, I don't like that you tell me to piss off, Shawn. It's like, well, I don't like that you don't understand sarcasm.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. And the thing with that is like my favorite comment that somebody gave me that was a suggestion was very cool. They were like, you made your trains wrong because the train usually doesn't go over the road. The road usually goes over the train in real life. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to remember that for every day now. And it just like stuck with me. And I was like, that is very cool. That's a suggestion I'll take.
Right, right.
But yeah, when somebody says, I would prefer to watch your videos with no music, I'm like, okay, well, you can prefer to watch with the sound off, or you can prefer to watch another channel that does not do music.
Right.
That's how I feel.
I kind of go with like the general rule of thumb that like if it's not multiple comments of the same critique and those multiple comments getting multiple likes, then it's like, gone with the wind. Because at the end of the day, it's your channel, it's your personality. You should want that to shine through. Like for example, let's say that the channel gets bigger and I have a bunch of edgy memes, bunch of like my edgy outro, and let's say I don't ever get any keys or something like that from Colossal Order, or let's just say because like, well, we don't want to associate. That's fine. That's their choice, just like it's my choice to put that in my video. You know what I mean? So it's like so everybody has their own personal preferences, and like I had one comment. The guy was literally like, "I would subscribe to you if you didn't tell me to piss off." It's like,
oh yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's sarcasm. I don't really want you to piss off. I would really prefer if you watch the end screen videos and you just stayed on my channel for a long time. I'd really prefer that. I don't really mean for you to piss, what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like some people are like a little Reddit moderator-ish,
Yeah. What I've learned from YouTube and TikTok is if you have a good product, people will come. If there's not everybody's going to like it. Like some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi. Like, not everybody's going to like everything. So I just know that there is an audience that likes the content that I make, and I want them to be happy. If there's some little detail that a lot of people are like, hey, this isn't working, which I can tell from retention graphs if something isn't working.
Right.
And if it's not working, I don't do it. That's it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I need to study retention graphs more, but there's like, I know that like I used to have a big drop off at like 2 minutes or something like that, and I'd always look at and so I started studying some of my videos, and every single one of my videos I had like it was a little bit different each video, but it was like a cookie cutter like and subscribe, general YouTuber shtick type of thing, and like 10 videos in a row I did that, and then like I noticed a natural dip off right there. So I'm like, okay, so people who's already subscribed don't want to hear that. They're tired of hearing that. So I need to come up with like a creative way of doing that. And so some videos I don't add it, other videos I do add it. Sometimes I'll opt for like plug the membership and then move on. You know what I mean? And then just put like a thing on screen, like and subscribe, without actually saying it and taking up like audio bandwidth for like the the user. And also I've actually, instead of like drawing out the intro of that, I've kind of just like, it's so quick, it's like 4 or 5 seconds of the main thing, and then you're right into the topic, so they don't even have time to click away. It's like I've noticed that it's gone up to like almost, and mind you, my videos are rarely over 5, 6, 7 minutes, and so now they're watching 3-4 minutes, and that's over half. That's pretty good, so I'm like, hey,
absolutely. I used to do things like if you'll notice, like if you ever watch my stuff, I don't ask people to subscribe till the end. But I'll maybe have like a little button, and that's just casual, like very subtle, because at the end of the day, most people are going to make their decision based on the content alone. Right. They may need a reminder, but if they watch till the end, then they're going to watch more. The other thing too about that is those long intros. I used to just go on and ramble on, and I had an intro sequence with like a little theme song and a little logo, and it just did not work.
Yeah, the cookie cutter thing.
It just, you cut off. People don't want it. People want to see your content. They already know who you are. Like sometimes I'll introduce myself, but at the end of the day, it's about just making good stuff. People want to see a good build. They want to hear a nice story, or they want to see the news or understand what your thoughts are on something, and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think you actually do a lot. Like, you do highly edited videos, which I really, really like. But it's like, I understand why it's like it's you're working full time. It's hard to get 2 or 3 videos a week out, especially that high level of editing. Like, how do you maintain the motivation to like save your editing software and like where you're at in that video, and then regain that same motivation? Like, do you have like a full thought out plan for a video from start to finish, or do you just kind of wing it and it evolves as it goes? Like, how do you do, what's your process?
It depends on the video. Sometimes I do have like a total plan. Like, I know what I'm gonna make, I know where I'm gonna make it, I know what I'm gonna say. Usually what I'll do though is kind of my standard is I'll build something. I usually have some sort of idea of what it is, and then I'll edit it down to its core parts. I'll do my best to edit out like odd angles, camera swings, things like that sort of distract the viewer or may make some people nauseous, like if you swing your camera around too fast, especially when the footage is sped up. Um,
Yeah, they
and
got
then the
me on
next thing,
that. They got me on
yeah,
that.
yeah, I take those out as much as I can. It's tedious, it takes a while, but the results are good.
Right.
And then once I have like a coherent build, I tended to break it up into sections. Like, okay, this is the part that I've worked on, this is the part, and then I'll write the full script. Sometimes I'll write the script beforehand. It just really depends on what I'm doing. But with my vanilla stuff, I usually just play it live and then just do edits.
So do you find it easier to develop a script first and then plan out footage to try to fit it, or do you like want to play the game and then have your voice talking while you're playing the game? That way it's like easier for edit. Like you just take that clip out, you know. Like, because I've been trying to edit some City Skylines 1 gameplay, which they've been dog shit on views on my channel, which views aren't necessarily a big deal, but it's how I gauge if what they're interested in, you know what I mean? So
oh yeah, of course.
So it's like if I literally had 64 views in 3 hours, and I'm used to almost like a 1K, so I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's the algorithm's just not promoting me because first of all, all of my metadata on my channel is just chock full of City Skylines 2. So naturally, you know, I'm news guy, speculation guy right now until the game comes out, and that's going to be an uphill battle for me. I probably just copy City Planner Plays and Biff's thumbnails, just try to get in their algorithm and stay there. But no, I don't know. I find it like editing City Skylines gameplay content into a coherent video and story is incredibly hard. It's well, not hard. It's time consuming.
It is very time consuming. A lot of content creators I've talked to, it's like they'll spend 20 hours on a video, and I've spent that much time on a video too.
It's crazy.
And it is the thing, but the thing with City Skylines content is almost every variety creator who plays it that I've seen, it is one of, if not their most popular game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And that says a lot, even 8 years later.
Well, I mean, look how many just specific City Skylines niche channels that's only does City Skylines, and there's still like, there's not very many games that get released in a decade later. They're still getting huge numbers.
Yeah.
You know, that's just wild. When I first started on YouTube, I did Jurassic World Evolution. I had similar, you know, speculation and all that. I wasn't nowhere near as good as editing or doing thumbnails back then, but whatever. I ended up getting a decent amount. But the game was it was made by the people who made Planet Coaster, Frontier, who made the Unity engine, I think. These guys like were the gold standard for park builders, and they came out with Jurassic World Evolution. And it just wasn't it. Like, for example, they cut out, if you know anything about Jurassic World anyways, if you've ever seen the movie, the main feature of the park is the Mosasaurus Lagoon. It's the middle of the park. It's the thing that the drone and helicopter sweep over. It's the whole, you know, all the cinematic pans included, you know. It's there. So they dropped the first game, didn't even have aquatic dinosaurs in the game. So you can't even build a Jurassic Park of your dreams, right? You can't. So that and like, so the game really just kind of died. And first of all, I wasn't into dinosaurs, which is my first mistake, is making a channel I wouldn't like, of the content I wasn't into. That was my first mistake. Which luckily I'm doing City Skylines now because I've played City Skylines for years, and I didn't really think that City Skylines 2 would ever even be a thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people in the secret Discord server had known about it, but you know, I'm just an average Joe, so I didn't know. I had no clue. And there was speculation and there was hints, and I was like, what? And then some leaks happened. I'm like, I'm making a channel. I got to. I mean, I have the skills. I have the know-how. This is a game was literally playing whenever I got the notification on my phone. It's, you know, so it's been a long journey for me on YouTube, and I'm just curious as to how it's going to be when the game comes out. Like, I mean, of course, there's the huge YouTubers. It don't matter. Like, Biffa could start uploading Transport Simulator tomorrow, and people would watch. You know, he's just so big. So, yeah, you know, it's really those of us, like, smaller creators who are like, well, when the game comes out, will the channel 100% transfer over? Like me, like, I haven't even made City Skylines 1 content. I'm only doing City Skylines 2 content, and I'm still kind of hesitant. Like, well, you know, everybody's gonna be racing to do the Mimi builds, the poop mountains, the crazy, you know, all the, you know, like there's a who's it, the infrastructure, or no, not the infrastructure. There's a real civil engineer. He does a lot of
Yep.
these, like, yeah, that guy. He does a lot of these, you know, 1 lane challenge type of stuff,
Yep.
and like everybody's gonna be rushing out to do those and tutorials.
Yep.
And then there's going to be a third part of us who's going to be like, this is my first vanilla build. You know what I mean? Like, let's just play the game.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so nervous as to, you know, how long is it going to be before the algorithm takes favor over all those high clicks and stuff, or if I want to do that, if I should do that, if we should do that, if other people, you know what I mean? I'm so hesitant. Give me your thoughts on that. Alleviate my concerns.
I have done all 3 for City Skylines 1 now, for a year. And I have an idea of what works good right now for Cities 1. I think the same is going to be true for 2. I think beginners content's going to be big, and no matter if you are the gigantic channel or a small channel. I mean, how I grew my channel was by making beginners content, and it was such a saturated market for beginners content. It was everywhere. There was millions of views. But it's just, you have to be your own niche. You have to do things differently in a certain way. And what my big selling point at the time was, I did all these tutorials that were really short, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of like interchanges or mods or something that a lot of people would spend 20, 30 minutes describing and explaining. And that stuff took off. It's not millions of views, but it's good enough. And it was enough to grow this channel super quickly. I got my first 1,000 subscribers in like 3 months, got to 2,000 like a month later. It snowballs, and it was because of that. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for everyone to grow with the second game. But I also think there's still going to be desire to see stuff from the first game, especially like modded stuff, storytelling type stuff, because there won't be a lot of mods in the beginning, and there won't be a lot of custom assets, so you'll still see these like high detail builds for the first one. But I think there's opportunity for everyone, so I don't think you have much to be worried about right now.
Speaking of mods, what is your take on that little on the start menu tab, the Paradox mods? Do you know any information on that? Are you allowed to say any information on that? What's your take on that? Your opinion?
I know nothing. I don't know what that is. I saw it. No idea. It could mean anything. It could mean they're the mods that they have installed, like unlimited money and stuff, or like something similar to that. It could be they have their own. I just don't know. I have no idea.
Could just be like their verified checkmark brand of mods or something.
Exactly. Mods made by Paradox that are optional, whatever it is.
Yeah, people are like super speculating that, oh no, they're gonna make their own asset store and all this other stuff. I'm like, you know, they're a small team. You know, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work. And the fact that they're even bringing modders onto their payroll is lets you know that you know, like they're not going to have a AAA studio. They might put out AAA game titles, but they're not going to have a AAA studio. And I think that is the kind of the quality control that we like, and that's also like what keeps the game alive, because they have to release these things over time because they just don't have. Look how long it's taken them to get this game going. What is it, like? We know for a fact it's been at least 4 years of development, at least. And that's there's no telling how long in the works it's been, you know. So I think that with City Skylines 2, I feel like what's going to happen is, and I'm probably going to be 100% wrong on this, but I think that there is, because if you notice, there's been a lot less mods, like brand new mods from like Bloody Penguin or whatever. It's been kind of like a slow trickle over the last few years. Like it's been kind of just updates and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm thinking that a lot of these guys probably got some sleeper stuff. And when the game first comes out, we'll probably at least get a little bit onto the Steam page, I think. You know, I think they're holding some stuff back, you know. I think that's what's happening. And I could be completely wrong, you know. But they have said that they want to make just asset creating easier. within the game itself. So I don't know, maybe that'll lead to a lot of stuff. I mean, it could. I mean,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I certainly hope so, because the one thing that I do have concerns about with Cities 2, at least as a content creator, is a lot of stuff is going to look exactly the same for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a lot to be unique when it comes to that. Because right now with PC, at least, if you're a City Skylines creator, your game could look 100% vanilla like it was released in 2015, or it can look like the way Cities 2 looks. Like, it can look like anything you want, because we have so many options that have developed over the years. You can make any type of city, any place in the world. There's so many assets. And with Cities 2, it's going to be very, very minimal at first. And so that is also going to lead, I think, to a lot of channels sort of developing into new things organically. A lot of new channels coming out, a lot of older legacy channels doing different things. So I'm really excited to see where it goes and to see how just the general player base reacts to the game. But yeah, I know nothing about what we can expect beyond what I've seen in the dev diaries, and I'm like,
I do think you're
exciting.
right. I think you're right. I think it's gonna force a lot of people to be creative, not only in content creation, but what you can actually do with inside the game. Because you're right, everybody's gonna be creating like, okay, this is our first tile, this is our first city, this is our vanilla city, and I think that people who do that the most unique will probably stand out above the rest. Well, beyond the people who's going to get a crap ton of views anyways, just from having a huge fan base. But people like who's breaking through the algorithm, a lot of these up and coming people that we might not even know about right now, you know, like somebody's going to come out with a video that's going to be like something you didn't think about, and it's something you're like, wait, that's even possible. And it's like, well, of course. I mean, look how long the games we're going to have this game for. So there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, there'll probably be lots of like hacks and tricks that people figure out, just like with like vanilla. Like in the beginning, nobody knew that if you made a cross with dirt roads first, that you could make a better roundabout when the game first came out.
Right, and then add the spoke wheels to it to make it even more. Yeah. Not a lot of people even know that today. They have to they find videos about like roundabout tutorials, and there's like 60 of them.
Or use a roundabout builder mod, some people don't know, I can measure the length with the dollar amounts and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that. You do that a lot in your videos, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because especially on TikTok, there's so many console builders, and console players just don't have precision engineering. Any PC player should get it. Even if you're totally vanilla, just get precision engineering. It shows you the exact amount of units. You can build anything. And I didn't think about console players at first, but I started having people saying, what if it's on console? I can't measure the units.
You're like, I got something for you. Yeah.
And it got to the point on TikTok where if I said, all you need is mods, people would go in the comments and say, I swiped away as soon as you said I needed mods because I'm on console. And I'm like, I will be more accommodating.
Yeah, I actually had a person comment in my video saying that they wouldn't subscribe to me because I'm a PC builder who even has the potential to have mods. I'm like, hold up, that's like being mad at me because my hair's black.
Yeah, I mean that's their.
Like, I can't. Like I don't hate you because you're on. Oh, speaking of consoles, I know that this is one of the last few questions I have actually. I know that we are both doing competitions. Do you have any information on your competition that you want to release here? Maybe like a little exclusive?
Oh, yeah. So, other than the winner gets a free copy of City Skylines 2, and the second place is going to get any Cities 1 DLC they want. If you have all the DLCs, we can talk, though. And it's interesting. I've seen a lot of people working on their builds and showing me like previews. There's some good competition out there, but I am putting it in my city.
Yeah, that little bitty corner section by the coast. Yeah,
exactly. And the waterfront. I just figure waterfronts are popular. People love it. The thing that I would want people to know about that, though, is don't try to ask me if you can use a mod or a custom asset. I gave a mod list. I'm not the one I want my city it's my vanilla city. I don't want it to be anything. I don't want anybody to have any advantages over anybody, but I also don't want it to be anything that won't fit into a vanilla build. I allowed a few mods because might as well. Um,
I know how
but
you
yeah,
feel. I know how you feel. It's like you want to get back, but it's a little bit stressful because like for me example, uh I made like a whole Google document like for rules and requirements and what's okay and what's not okay and no campaigning in Discord beforehand or whatever because mine was a viewer's choice vote
yeah.
and and like like how many people's like, so how long does the video have to be? I'm like, there's a link to rules.
Yeah.
It's like, and I had to post like 35 links to the rules after putting it on Discord, and it's just like, it's a little bit frustrating. But speaking of consoles, my winner, we had a live stream and I had a storm go over and my connection was just getting choppy and I lost all my frames, so I just decided to do it as exclusive to Discord, and we all got in Discord and we all voted on it, and we had like 14, 15 people in Discord, something like that.
Nice.
It was crazy for Discord on my little bitty channel.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought I was gonna have to do like a grading scale and just do it that way, but everybody came through, and believe it or not, a console player beat out some heavily modded PC. And it was
Really?
it was down to his editing, really, and his choice
Yeah.
of music, and he didn't really show any janky console stuff.
So people made videos.
Yeah. I had him submit that you had to be able to make a video. You had to be able to submit information about your video and like a roster card. That way people can download it and save it, and they can click their link and whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they all had to make a video, and some of them didn't even know how to make a video. They had to learn.
Yeah. I made video optional. I said you have to do a minimum of 3 screenshots and a description of what you've built. And it's still going. I gave quite a lot of time because I wanted enough people to have the chance and not be like, oh, I missed it. So I gave like a month and a half. It's a long time, but some people finish their build the first day. Whatever. And again, it's viewer's choice. So I'm going to share every single one of them in Discord and then have people vote. And then after that, top 3. I'm going to narrow it down to 3, and then people vote on the top 3. The top 2 win prizes. The number 1, if it's PC, gets put into my build. And if it's console, they win the prize.
Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, if anybody wants to, participate, it's still going on. Mine is officially closed, and everybody got the winners and stuff like that. But, Cities by Diana, hey.
You have till August 15th to sign up in my Discord, and there's like rules and everything, so.
Right. Okay, so I've got like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and my wife and 2 little boys will be home. So, speaking of personal family stuff or something like that, do you have anything you want to share with anybody, like like going on behind the scenes in your own personal life that you're happy about, or that or you can go back to the channel behind the scenes with the channel and what you got planned or anything like that? What's going on with Cities by Diana behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, I'm just busy getting fundraising from General Motors, Shell Oil Company, a little bit of Philip Morris cigarettes, and Lockheed Martin. So
okay.
That's why you've seen a lot of auto-oriented content, because they're paying me, clearly.
Clearly.
No, I'm kidding. No, I don't have much to share, actually. My plan right now, if you want to know some behind the scenes, is I've been focusing. I've been doing TikTok a lot, but I've been focusing for YouTube very heavily on highly edited, kind of medium form videos, and kind of pulling away from tutorial content for now, because Cities 2 is coming out, and that's sort of the popular talking point, is either Cities 2 or you want to see a really good Cities 1 build that's unique. So I've been really focusing on that instead. So expect to see more kind of medium 15-minute to 30-minute videos of just highly edited builds, whether that's a vanilla build or a modded build.
Well, I mean, it would give you more. It'd give you more leeway to, because like you still put the same amount of edits into a smaller video, and it would.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel that. And also, like that would able to get you, like you can have one 20-minute video a week, or you can have 2 15-minute videos a week, and that's double the time. You know what I mean? So it's like yeah,
exactly. And I'm trying to put out 2 a week, but sometimes I only do 1. It just depends. If I do 2 a week, usually it's a shorter one, or like on Friday, I took some stuff from TikTok that people had been asking me to post on YouTube and edited it into widescreen. So that was it was still a lot of effort, but that was a little less effort because the content was already there.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise that's been my focus. And also, for some reason, the YouTube algorithm loves longer content, but luckily a lot of my viewers do too.
Right.
But when it comes to like tutorials, I always keep them short. It's just, I put them on TikTok now. If I do an interchange tutorial, it just goes to TikTok. People on there really like it.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, if you've ever been yourself looking up a tutorial, how often are you like skimming over to get to the point you need to to be taught? Like, okay, I
Exactly.
know how to do this, and that. It's this one little bitty thing in here that I don't know about. I don't want to watch 20 minutes to get to this thing. So then you only get the minute anyway. So I might as well just bing bang boom, cut, and then
Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you feel any pressure to get any of your? Because because I am not necessarily in this boat. Nobody watches my City Skylines 1 content at all. It's like the one I did. I took inspiration from you. I did a lot of edits and a lot of memes and just a lot of voiceovers and try to I had a couple mistakes in there, but whatever. Yeah, life happens. But and then nobody watched it, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do speculation until City Skylines 2 comes out. That's obviously what the algorithm wants. I will please it. People watch it, so. But you and a bunch of other people, Toadies, and a bunch of other people just like do City Skylines 1 builds and stuff like that. Do you feel any pressure at all to get your cities completed before the game releases?
Maybe. I kind of do, but there's a part of me that thinks it's at least my vanilla one I'll probably get done before the game releases. But with the modded stuff, I think there's a little more flexibility there. I think a lot of people are invested in that modded stuff, that they're gonna keep watching because it's about being your own niche. They're invested for the storytelling or for the detailing or whatever it is. That if I was just doing Cities 1 tutorials or just doing really generic Let's Plays like I do with my vanilla city, it is a generic Let's Play. Let's just say that. It's there's a little less staying power with that right now.
Right.
But for my modded stuff, I don't feel like it. I did lose one of my modded cities to an update. It's just it never loads. When I did load it, all the assets were gone, like all the detailing and props and trees were gone, and it was just. So unfortunately, one of them is probably done, and I keep trying to get it to load, and
that deep inhale said it all.
Yeah, it will. I can access it, but I can't use it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a couple cities break, and I know everybody has felt that pain. That's another thing. I really hope that I don't know how they can do it because I have very small amount of knowledge when it comes to game development. I can set up a rigid body on a ball that doesn't have appendages. That's about it. Like I can't, you know what I mean? I can't, and that's really just copy and pasting from you know what I mean? Like I can't do anything as far as game development. So far be it from me to judge or say you should or shouldn't do something. But I would hope that there is some sort of I don't know, built-in, I don't know, like a gatekeeping, some sort of like a bar, like requirement bar of this is what, if you're going to make assets in our game, if you're going to make mods outside of our game for our game, like if you're going to manipulate our code, like it has, like you have to meet these 3 verified check marks before you're able to upload. I don't know how they would integrate that. I don't know how, or maybe they'd have to submit it to them before mods can be approved, and maybe the Paradox mod tab comes in. I don't know. I just really hope that 5 years from now, we don't try to load into our original cities and it goes error code, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't know how they would, though. I have no clue.
I don't think so. I think we'll be able to play them. But yeah, it did. It sucked. This one, it's just a hard crash, the city. Like, it doesn't give me an error. The game just... While loading, it's like the game was never there. It just disappears.
It's like, nope.
Tried everything. I've tried reinstalling, uninstalling mods. The only thing that works is if I run only assets used in the city and then uninstall all of the anarchy mods, and then all the props disappear, all the trees disappear, all the procedural objects disappear. Like the stuff that actually like I spent a lot of time working on is gone, and it's just the buildings and a few trees.
And then it's a daunting thought to think that, well, I could just go get a different asset and replace it all, but it's like all the work you have to do just to get your city back to
Exactly.
square one.
Yeah.
It's
So
just not worth it.
unfortunately, I destroyed it in a TikTok, but that's about it.
They punch in the gut though.
I spent a year almost on that city. It was the one that I started my channel with. So
Oh no!
unfortunately, everything has to go and everything has to end.
Oh, okay.
I'm still
Eeyore.
trying. Every day I will try to load it, and every day it fails. But maybe one of these days it will. Yeah, I don't know. I've
here's
tried.
the hoping. Here's the hoping. Oh man.
But my other city, it's going strong. I think I'm working on a new episode right now, and hopefully I'll have it done by Friday. But I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a little longer because yeah.
Well, in the last City Skylines 2.5 podcast, good luck with that, by the way. But in the city,
Thank you.
in the next half of the City Skylines 2.5 podcast, last time I asked Bon B, who is an OG and a legend, that some like. I want to ask you a variation of the same kind of question I asked him. What do you think I could do better as a content creator on YouTube? With City Skylines 2 content or even City Skylines 1. You got any tips, any ideas for me, anything like that?
So I think you should include some Cities 1 content to enable yourself to become a gameplay channel. Because if you rely on being a speculation channel and news channel, once that speculation is over, where do you go from there? And it's always nice to have a backlog of content from a game that's proven to be popular. Even if it doesn't get views right away, you'll build that sort of algorithm juice.
Yeah, that metadata, yeah.
And then the other thing, it's beyond just metadata, is there are certain types of builds that do really well on YouTube, and there are certain types that don't. And once you learn those, you will be successful. Because if City Skylines 2, God forbid, hopefully not, but what if it's bombs? What if people don't like it?
Right.
I'm thinking Age of Empires 4 versus Age of Empires 2.
Oh, no.
Which game is more popular? Game is more popular?
Dude, Age of Empire 2 is... How could you even... That's such a good comparison.
So if Cities 2 becomes like Age of Empires 4, where there's maybe people playing it, but people go back to the first one,
And it has,
you want to have that
more longevity of viewer, like, of
Yeah.
player base, and you can just look at compare the stats. It's sad.
Exactly. So I would say that's why I would say don't give up on the Cities 1 content. Keep doing it because it's just
So what should I do? Should I just like build my slightly modded vanilla city, or should I do interchanges? I'm not good at interchanges.
I would say right now what people are looking for, at least what I've seen, is something unique. It's some kind of unique selling point about it, whether it's the way that you frame the build. Like my last one said, can I build a realistic city with vanilla assets only? And then that's sort of what I did. The one that came out today, it was part of a collab, the Skyline 6 collab. Another one I did was I'm building a city with no public transit.
I got you. You gotta go with the civil engineer route.
Yeah, but the way I made the city, it was really nice looking. It was like the graphics looked good. The city was well detailed. It was just there was just storytelling behind it. And then another one that I did was just starting a new town. Like a lot of people want to just see a new thing. Like, oh, I did one starting a small town. It was part of a larger build, but because it's something new, people want to see it. That's always popular. So if you do something where you're putting something new together, you're doing a layout, people love to see road layouts, people love to see public transit, and you'll be successful, especially if you frame it in ways that are unique to you.
Okay, so get this right. We've got crazy, wacky, wild builds and stuff like that. Like, no pedestrians.
Yeah, something silly. Yeah, something or only trains or people love that.
Yeah. And then I just want to see how far you can go for your city's fails.
Yeah, something like that. Or people love realistic. That's a thing that people love. They love to see realistic stuff. Really like well put together builds, even if it's vanilla assets. People like a lot of detail.
Okay, or like you said, like what, like a brand new city starting,
Yeah,
like new downtown or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like starting a new city. People like to see something new.
yeah. But I mean, I do agree with you though. I do got to get the gameplay aspect in, because I mean, I can't just do news when City Skylines who come out. I want to play the game, right? So I want to be able to. Yeah. So, and
Exactly.
if I start now, I guess who knows, those videos might catch steam, or at least I'll still, at least like you said, have the algorithm juice in the pocket.
Yeah, and that's important. And I think you're doing a great job at bringing the cities to algorithm juice to you before the game even comes out. And I've often contemplated that. I'm like, should I do more cities 2 coverage? But personally, I just don't want to. I don't have a lot to say. Like it is kind of
That's not
tedious to
already
edit
been said,
together. Yeah, exactly. Like I'll come on shows like this and talk about it. I did it with Bon Bon B a couple of times, and I'll talk about it and I'll give my opinion. But when it comes down to it, I want to build stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah, no,
want my like
100%, 100%. It takes me a while to break myself away from the game, playing the game, just to make. I almost don't look forward to the Dev Diary days, because it's like, have people gonna be waiting on me to make a video, like, and the way my videos are, like, I could pump them out in a day, so I gotta,
yeah. I mean, I made one. It did okay, but I don't feel the need to do more. When I posted it to TikTok, for some reason it got flagged as unoriginal content, and my account
really.
got shadow banned for a day because of it.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Because they see the Cities 2 footage as like unoriginal. So
Ah,
when you're a monetized creator on TikTok, there's like stricter rules on like what
I
you can and
gotcha.
can't post.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I mean, at least on YouTube, if you're ever like hurting for uploading just a while for your bills, go, you could think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
people like,
I
if I would recommend anything, I know you do long form content, but if you're doing City Skylines 2, make it a quick, short, bang, bang,
Yep.
bang to the point, because if not, people. The retention just on a longer video just isn't there for City Skylines 2. Like, a lot of people can easily just go click and find any of the information. So, gotta deliver in a way that's entertaining. You just got
Yep.
to. But it's also
That's
like,
why I
it's hard to.
had
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's why I had my AI presidents talking about it.
Yeah, dude, some of those videos are so funny. What program do you use for the AI voice?
It's called 11 Labs. It's the most popular
Yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah,
probably, yeah. And
yeah.
there's a lot of like tricks to it to get them to get the voices to sound like more expressive or emotional,
Mm.
uh, that I've learned just from playing with the software. But yeah, it's easy, it's cheap, it's available. Like I think there's a free version now.
Right on, right on. Yeah, AI is getting extremely popular. That was actually one of the first videos I seen of yours, was the presidents, and then I seen the dog bone interchange, and
Hmm.
and that was
That one was popular.
well, that's how I knew that. Okay, people like, okay, you used the Doge dog meme for the thumbnail. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay, so like people aren't like so Reddit moderator-ish that they can't have a little bit of humor in there. Not everything's got to be City Planner Plays, and this is my story of Phil and the mayor.
Even
You know,
even City Planner Plays uses memes and all
he
of this stuff
does, he
now.
does.
It's become more and more popular.
Well, you almost like it just adds a layer of personability to you.
Exactly.
And I feel
Exactly.
sad for people who don't enjoy that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing with City Skylines content is there's something for everyone. And for a while, a lot of it was very to the point. It was for a certain type of viewer, which I am one of those viewers sometimes where I just want to see like I want to focus really hard on like a really good, heavy detailed build and get some
Mm-hmm.
inspiration from it.
Right.
But there was definitely kind of a hole in the marketplace for something a little lighter, that's also still equally as good in gameplay, that
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are coming around to now. I know
Yeah.
Imperator did that really well. He
Yeah.
did that well for
He's got some
years.
great content. Well, that was
Yeah.
actually was I was getting ready to because he does a lot of this style of content a lot. Sometimes. Do you think that like the time like the music underneath time lapse videos, or you think they're going away like the way of the dinosaur? Because they're few and far between now. There's some people like there's some creators who only do that style of content, but there used to be a lot more back in the day, and now it's kind of more meme heavy, story driven City Skylines content.
You mean with like no talking?
Yeah, just straight time lapse. Well, I mean maybe a little bit, but like primarily time lapse, where somebody might hop in and do a little bit of a build, but then it's like majority time lapse.
I think it depends on how you present it. I think that majority time lapse, no commentary or low commentary is kind of falling out of vogue now. But I've been doing long sections of time lapse, which is music, that have been working really well for me, but I intersperse it with equally kind of length sections of commentary, of talking.
So they know some commentary is coming up. It's not just, I gotta watch 20 minutes of this time lapse.
Exactly. My first ever video that I ever posted on YouTube of City Skylines, that's what it was. It was 45 minutes of time lapse build under music on my personal channel, not even my city's channel that I made later. Like 2 years ago, I posted this and it got like 900 views, but most of those views came after I became like a somewhat successful content creator and shared it with my followers.
Yeah.
When it first started, it got like 300 views. It was an interchange in a gas station or something.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of surprising. Any of us who do, any sort of, even minor, even like if you're just doing like, you're taking your time, you're making a vanilla city look really, really good. You'll be surprised if you look back at your recording, you're like, I played the game for 5.5 hours.
Yep.
And now I have to make it a 15-minute video.
Yep.
Like, geez, Louise, mama's peas, I quit.
But exactly.
But you do it, you bite the bullet and you do it, but it's like, man, but then there's so many hidden gems that have to be edited out because you have that crazy turn in the camera or something like that. So it's like, man, there's a lot of hidden gems that a lot of people just never get to see in your city. Like, there's a lot of blooper. Like, if I could save every blooper, if I had like the I don't know, I guess the tenacity, like the drive, the dog in me to like have a folder and clip every blooper and save it, like it would be some great content. It's so much work. There's so many hours. Actually, I think we're coming up. It's been a good hour. I think we can call it quits. Plus, my kids about to be roaring in here. There's not going to be no room for talking. That's for sure.
All good. It's been great to chat with you.
Yeah, no, I hope to have you back sometime.
Yeah, let me know.
Hey, send some other creators my way. We're looking for other guests.
We'll
send some messages out, but we're waiting for people to reply, so no big deal.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you. And but do you have anything to plug, anything to say before we get off here? Beyond your channel.
If you like TikTok, go on my TikTok. Subscribe to my TikTok. You'll already subscribe to my YouTube because it's on here, but if you're on TikTok or Instagram, same name.
You can send me a link. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So, all right, guys. I love everybody, but you gotta piss off.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy. I've been to the mother